And welcome back, everybody, to another edition of Life in Progress. Phil Penarski here, joined as always with Charles C. Dewey. And Charles C., we've got a really great episode for this one, especially given, the time of month that it is, right around Valentine's Day. Love is definitely in the air.
For sure. And unfortunately, I had to miss this episode
Right.
because when we recorded it, I was snowed in.
Snowmageddon was here.
Yeah, Snowmageddon. It was during the week we had the really snow days every day. And where I live, I just couldn't make it in. So I had to miss the episode, the taping. But it's a really fun episode. And I think everyone's going to enjoy it and a little bit more personal episode.
Right. Yeah, definitely. We had David Horak on the show, and he, along with so many of us here at News 8, recently got engaged within the past year. And so we had him and his fiancé, Brittany Perry, on to talk all about not only how they met, but how that proposal went, and also how you really plan a wedding. Because, I can speak for myself included. It's been a bit of a hassle kind of jumping onto that and getting started with that. But they had a lot of really great tips. So I guess without further ado, let's go ahead and hear from David and Brittany now. And welcome back, everybody, to Life in Progress. And we have a very appropriate episode given the time of year it is. It is, of course, around Valentine's Day, the month of love, February. So much to be excited about. And we've got two people that are very much in love joining us today, and David Horak and his fiancee, Brittany Perry. Thank you both so much for stopping by today. Brittany, great to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too.
Yeah, no, very appreciative of you guys coming on because, it's been kind of a running gag here in the newsroom just how many couples really have been getting engaged this year. And you guys really kind of kicked it off, or at least were one of the first couples to get engaged over the summer. We're going to get into, obviously, the wedding planning behind it all, but really, I want to spend some time talking about the love behind the two of yours relationship. So let's talk about, how you guys met in the first place. Let's start from the very beginning of this relationship.
Oh, boy. Whose perspective would you like first, Phil?
I think we do need both, but, I think ladies first. Let's have Brittany go first. Yeah.
Okay, so Corinne, who actually used to work here, her and I danced together, and then we went to high school together. She ended up joining my church a few years ago, so I just sent out a courtesy message. Hey, I was there, congratulations. If you need a friend to go to church with, let me know. And figured that'd be the end of it. And then a few months later, randomly out of the blue goes, hey, would you want to be set up with one of my coworkers? Yes.
Really? As simple as that?
It was literally simple as that. Yeah. And I was still in nursing school, so I was like, I'm very busy, but I'm not interested. So we finally made it work, canceled the first time.
Oh, okay. Well, hang on. All right, I'm glad we're doing this. All right, let's go right through there then. Before we jump too far ahead, what was that first day? Why did it get canceled?
So I had an exam the next week.
Okay, gotcha.
So I just had a lot
You
of
had
homework.
a good reason.
Exactly.
Okay,
yes.
yeah.
And
Allegedly.
And then I almost canceled the second time because I had just finished an exam. I was exhausted. And I was like, I don't want to cancel a second time. I'm not going to be that person. So ended up going, and it kicked it off right away. Then we went mini golfing for our first date.
So. Oh, I love that.
And the coup de grace was Culver's.
Yes, we went to Culver's.
And I'm sure everybody is like, as soon as I said Culver's, are like, oh yeah, David, you did it right.
David, you know how to do a first date right. Exactly. Mini golf, a little custard at the end of the night. It's a great time.
Yeah.
So you guys had that first date. Was it, kind of love at first sight, or were you guys kind of like, let's see where this is going? I had a lot of fun, or, kind of what was that, next step? When did you guys really officially become a couple?
I have my answer.
So I feel like it was pretty instant. It did not take a ton to keep us together. But yeah, I want to say it was maybe a month later we were officially.
Yeah, because we were at my apartment and we were just
we made
dinner and I was like, want to give this a shot? And she was like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
So that's how that went. And for my edition of events.
But his story of how we met was a little different, for the record.
Okay.
There is two stories to this.
And we're curious how it merges together and where the discrepancies are. But Corinne, who again childhood friends with Brittany, she was with our digital team, and what happened one day is she always has this giddiness about her. And she had this extra giddiness when she walked up to my desk in the newsroom. It's like, so David, how's your dating life going?
Always a great conversation starter.
Great conversation starter. Just no small talk.
Right,
to the
right,
meat of the
exactly,
bone.
right.
And what happened was that she essentially told me, how's the dating life going? And what I did was like, with her as well as another friend of ours who is also a coworker, shout out to them. They kind of like try and help me the best they could at getting my dating profile on Hinge as best as possible. That didn't go well because struck out. So that's what I told Corinne. And she told me about Brittany. And she showed me a picture of her. I'm like, she's cute. And so I had to, I was like, yeah, let's do this. I'd rather be set up through somebody I know rather than going in blind, which has not helped before, but at least I had the experience to tell the tale.
Exactly.
And lo and behold, what happened was, and I think this is where our stories differ.
It is.
Yeah. So she said that she was going to have a group of us, a group of friends.
A group setting was how he would want to meet me.
Okay.
And I think that, and I thought.
For a first date?
Yeah.
That's fair.
Okay.
Because it
But
eases.
like at least meeting each other for the first
Right.
time.
Bingo.
Not necessarily the first date, but the first time we met each other.
Gotcha.
really
Okay,
helps
yeah.
break the ice. Yes. Well, it turns out that it was not a group date.
No.
And what ended up happening was that everybody, allegedly,
Everybody who was supposed to be there couldn't make it.
Right.
and our matchmaker, Corinne, swears that there were other people
That's what
supposed to
she
be there.
claimed to me.
And I think there were. But either way, it's hilarious how it ended up just being her and the two of us.
Yes.
Right.
And so and it ended up just being a hangout. There was no trivia, which was the
other thing that I was told was going on, is we were going to do trivia
And I thought
in
there
a group
was.
setting.
And I thought there was trivia as well at the Legion where we were, where this was at. Well, there was no trivia. That was a surprise to me, from what I recall. And two, it was just going to be a hangout. And so what happened was it was just the three of us at a table at the Legion. And Corinne, as giddy as she was and as proactive about getting us together and seeing what happens and all that,
Kept finding ways to walk away.
it was just perfection in terms of like how it all like levels out for her. But I will tell you that when I walked into the room for the first seeing her for the first time, I was like, gosh, that smile. So
Starstruck a little bit, yeah.
For real. How about a celebrity getting starstruck by
A lonely little nursing
a
student.
little nursing student. But that's how it came to be.
Yeah.
We went on a date, which was the mini golf in Culver's. Month-ish after that, we made the relationship Facebook official, and the rest
It's
is
a big
history.
step for everybody, yeah.
Yeah, by our 20, 30-something-year-old standards.
Right.
And then 13 months after we started dating, a year and change, July 27th of 2025 is when I popped the question. Wow. So.
All right. I mean, that's a great, get together story. And the fact that you guys were able to kind of, play off it a little bit, tease each other a little bit. I mean, that just goes to show like the strength of this relationship and everything like that. So again, really great to see. But let's talk about this proposal because David, we have seen the photos all on social media. You and I have talked about it because again, we all kind of have been, a bunch of people in the newsroom have been getting engaged and we all were kind of sharing our stories. Your story is a really great one. I would love for you guys to share it with everybody again, if you wouldn't mind.
So it's hilarious when she tells her side because it's almost
another two-sided story for sure.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It is the recurring theme of our relationship.
It really is.
But it's a wonderful story at the end of the day because thankfully she said the correct answer. And there was a lot of meaning to this. And just to oversimplify it, we go on a lot of walks. We did a lot of that when we first started dating.
Yeah.
And my last apartment, especially with all the different parks and trails nearby. And that included whenever I drove to where she lives near Rockford, downtown Rockford. And I really love the White Pine Trail. and one of the many options I had on the table for proposing to her was along the White Pine Trail, but I just could not think of a spot along it to have a scenic background and where there's not as many people because breaking news, it's a very popular trail.
Yeah.
So
and you gotta have the right backdrop for this. I mean, this is a very big moment in your life.
exactly, and we were thinking what area and what time of day and how are we supposed to pull this off while making sure that it follows her rules? Because she had 2 rules.
I had very few rules. One of
But
them
they were
was
too good- but
there
they were-
was 3 rules.
Oh,
You need a photographer.
yep.
Okay.
I don't want to know when or where,
What?
and I don't want to see the ring first. Figure it
Well,
out.
duh.
Those are all very ordinary rules.
like-
I was expecting it's got to be 66 degrees outside. It's got no. It sounds like 3 very
Very, very vague
Yes.
rules. Very standard.
right.
What a segue, Phil, because it was not 66 degrees that day. It was one of the hottest days of the entire summer. It was the heat index, I believe, was in the 100 teens that day.
Probably.
Oh yeah, and there was barely a cloud in the sky, as you could see from the pictures, and I was sweating through.
We were both
We were
sweating.
both sweating through our clothes, along with my
With your nerves.
with my nerves, and they
Yeah.
were killing me. But yet, I planned it for that day, for that time, for that location along the trail with the photographer and one of my good friends who happens to be standing in our wedding. And before I proposed, we went to go get ice cream because it's actually I think it's the Perry household rule. You have to have dessert first.
Yeah. Why not?
So
love
we
that.
went. So
you
we
always
went
need
to
dessert.
Custard by the Dam was first off. So we had ourselves a nice thing of ice cream. And then it's right by the riverfront, ish where the proposal spot was. But we went for a little walk because I pretended that we had a reservation at a nicer place in the town. And I was like, let's just walk off, burn off a little bit of the calories before it. And then I was like, oh, wow. And then we were getting towards the spot. And I was like, wow, whoa, look at those gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Oh, there's one other thing that's missing here. And then I went down one knee.
Oh, smooth.
Yeah.
Smooth, David. Yeah.
So my mind went into a blur, but I basically said I could not think of anybody better to have as my teammate, my life partner, my best friend till the end. And she rudely did not even let me finish before she said yes.
She was excited. I can't blame her.
I don't blame her either.
Yeah.
So with that, that's my recollection of events. And then after the excitement, the tears, the photographer in hiding and our friend came out, surprise! And then we did a little spontaneous photo session. She and I, holding hands, started walking towards
Where I thought we were going.
where
Yeah.
I said
Where I
that
was
we were
told
going.
we were going.
Well, another surprise. We ended up going to the Corner Bar, which is very special to her because it's a previous place of employment. And it's also where her parents, my parents, her brother, her sister-in-law, and her niece were all waiting for us to celebrate.
Love that.
So we had a wonderful dinner, and we FaceTimed Corinne, who was like, "Shut up!" And then my grandmother and other people know. And before we went, I think either before or after we went to dinner, we also stopped by her grandparents
After dinner.
Yeah. So that's my recollection, but. How you interpreted all these different plans?
All the cues were slightly obvious.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's not a planner. He doesn't make reservations. And,
Something you were flags were being raised in your mind as soon as that
Exactly.
happened, right?
And then he also said he had talked to my mom about the day because it was the week of fair, and we do a lot with the fair. So
Kent County Youth Fair.
making sure that we actually could make that work.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, a little suspicious here, but we're going with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so I also I wanted our pictures to be nice. I didn't want us to just being in sweatpants. I wanted them to
Right.
look nice.
Not
so,
looking like we just got out of the gym, you know?
Right.
Exactly.
So the fancier dinner was the excuse to dress up.
Yep.
Which I'll take any excuse to dress up. I don't mind.
Yeah.
And when it's 100 degrees, it's much nicer
More
to wear a dress
Exactly.
than it is to wear anything else. So there's that. And then I was also like, this is just a little suspicious that we're getting dessert and then going for a walk. Yes, that's very on brand for my family, but still a little suspicious, especially before a nicer dinner.
Right.
So I was definitely suspicious.
But when he asks you, though, I mean, that's got to be, I've always wanted to know because, you know, when I was proposing to my fiance, you know, I'm thinking about what I'm going to say. If you asked me how she responded to it or what was going through her mind, I would have no idea what to tell you. So I'm curious, Brittany, David's on one knee. You know, the guy you've been dating for 13 months, you know, maybe you have kind of been picking up on some of the hints, but now he's right in front of you with a ring in his hand. I mean, what is going through your mind?
I was very, very excited.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew it was the right guy for me, so
Aw.
there was no question in my mind on like the answer to my question, the answer to his question.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was very exciting, and I mean, like you said, my mind definitely went into a blur.
Yeah, right.
As much as the
Yeah.
guys do.
As much as it's such a big moment and we've
Yeah.
all like so happy that it happened, I mean, again, you're just so many emotions are running around. It is
Right.
impossible to kind of remember every single aspect to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, I mean, all right. So now you guys are engaged, and obviously, wedding planning has been the question that I know me personally have been answering. I full disclosure, I have not truly begun planning really anything for my wedding yet.
When are you getting married, Mr. Pinarski?
We have no idea. We got engaged, and it was kind of like, you know, we were telling everybody, and then immediately we're getting peppered and hammered with questions about, well, what are you guys doing? You know, what's this going to happen? And it all became very overwhelming very fast. So we did not handle that necessarily well. We were kind of like, you know what? We love each other. We're going to do this at our own speed. You know, when things maybe settle down a little bit with work, you know, we're looking at potentially moving to a house or something like that. So again, some other things have gotten in the way, but I know you guys have already kind of started to make these plans, right?
I think kind of started, doesn't even come close.
Right.
yeah.
Talk about rubber hitting the road.
No, you guys were just excited to get married. I mean, I guess that kind of let's kind of pump the brakes for just a second and kind of get into
Way to
this a
continue
little bit
the
more.
metaphor.
Yeah, there we go. Just to kind of really explain it fully. So you guys are engaged, and we're talking about obviously the ways to start that engagement. And this is kind of also to help me, I guess, out a little bit, kind of know where to start. What was that first thing that you guys really wanted to decide on when you guys are starting to plan your wedding? I mean, how did you guys really begin that conversation and those plans?
I'd say the venue.
Yeah, it was definitely the venue. Everybody was like, get your venue, get your venue,
Right.
get your venue. Some of them book a year out or farther.
Oh yeah.
And so like we were originally planning spring of 27, but then one of the venues that we did really like didn't even end up going with them. Like the only weekend they had available would have been like after what we wanted because of like the ordinance and whatever like they're allowed to do.
Yeah.
Or it would have been like the one weekend we picked.
Right. Yeah.
So that's when we started to like really look at 2026 in the fall instead of 27. And so, but yeah, it was just getting that venue. And then, as I said, even though we didn't go with them, we still ended up going with that same date.
Right. So you guys were picking a venue maybe even before that date. You know, I was going to ask, you know, when you guys were kind of deciding on a venue, was it more so you wanted to find a place that was open for a specific time of year, or maybe it had a certain, you know, amenities that you wanted a part of the wedding? I mean, or maybe it was the size of it. I mean, there's so many different things. Again, this is why I'm like so overwhelmed by it.
Hey, and it's a good problem to have, Phil.
Right,
I think for us, it was kind of a mixture of the right date, the right venue, and also
The right price.
the right price. Which is
Completely forgot. You got to end up
all-
paying for this whole thing too.
Right.
Yeah.
So with that, we wanted to make sure that the venue was right in regards to like, okay, at a basic level, what are the non-negotiables for what we want our ceremony, which was a separate conversation, and what do we want our reception vibes, style, ambiance to be? And there were a lot of crossovers, parallels, similarities between the different venues we toured and looked at. However, also the date was important to us too. The timing of the year, because I have a bunch of teachers in my family, so
Right.
trying to time it out, day of the week, time of the year wise, for as many of our invited guests as possible to make it to the wedding. All of this played a role, and of course the price. So there's no one size fits all way to approach planning a wedding, planning a ceremony so special, even if it's not a wedding, but if it's an engagement party, a bridal shower, or the wedding itself. There's no clear cut A, B, C, D. You must follow this, otherwise you're not going to be recognized in the state of Michigan as an actual married couple.
Yeah.
No, but what was important to us is what we talked about,
Yeah.
and I think that is different for every couple. And we recognized first and foremost what's the most important. Okay, then what's important after that.
Yeah.
Then what's okay, I could live with it, and then what's not important. So for you and your fiance, Phil, and for anybody else watching who's engaged and in this rut, trying to figure out where do we go from here, what's even the next step we take, those are the kinds of questions that we asked when we were starting to plan our wedding, and what I think would be really, really beneficial for you guys.
Yeah, I know. I think just taking that first step too. I think even just having fun talking about it. Even
Absolutely.
exactly. I think
That's
make
the
it kind of a
key.
game of it too.
That's the key,
Yeah.
having fun. We had fun.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
You don't
This
want
is
to
the
put this
best-
all on one person's plate. You want to
No,
both be engaged.
absolutely
Yeah.
not.
Absolutely.
And I think for us, we kind of originally picked 3 or 4 dates that
Yeah.
we were like, okay, these are the dates we're looking at. Basically, if the venue doesn't have it, okay, it's not right for us. So kind of having an idea of what dates we wanted going into touring places, but then also like having the flexibility and then being like, well, we don't even open until after that. And
Right.
then being like, okay, well, what if we just look earlier then, like all together? So.
Yeah. So with that, like it was, this was a matter of, now I'm blinking out. So, yeah.
Well, let's move on to talking about guest lists, because that is another thing that I know
Oh,
is
yeah.
always
Oh,
a big
yes.
hot topic, especially when you're trying to, if you're given maybe only 100 people at a venue or 150, and you've got a big family, lots of friends, and then you got to also account for your partner also having a big family and lots of friends that they want to invite. I mean, how do you guys kind of decide on, one, making a cap on the amount of people that you can invite so you're not going over budget or, going too far outside of the venue, but then also kind of deciding, who really makes that cut? I mean, how difficult has that been for you guys? I imagine it being sort of very hard to decide, who's making it, who's not. But, I feel like there might be better ways to maybe handle that.
I know for like me, my family's had, like my extended family has had multiple different weddings. So
Yeah.
like, it's more like my mom's cousins. It's like, we don't invite anybody past a certain like connection to the family.
Gotcha.
So then that kind of really helps limit, like just being able to like set that line and being like, this is where we're drawing the line. It's not that we don't necessarily want you there. It's just, there's only so many spots. And if you can't understand that the wedding is already expensive and that like when you're paying $20, $30 a plate and then another $15-$20 for drinks for the night, like if the family doesn't realize that like that adds up very quickly.
Right.
Then maybe they shouldn't be there to begin with. Like that sounds terrible, but
But it is the truth.
right. So like just being able to be like, this is the line we're drawing, and unfortunately, like you have to draw that line somewhere.
Yeah, because, if you get to the third cousin's second wife, twice,
Right.
twice removed. If you get towards that really long association, that's when you really need to really ask yourself, are they really that important? So it comes back to who's important. What are the non-negotiables? What's important to you? And it can be a fun conversation. And this was both fun and also difficult. Right. But that was the difficult conversation was mainly between me, myself, and I, because I felt like I was in the hot seat of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire with the lights on me.
Who wants to come to my wedding?
Yeah, I can't phone a friend or ask the audience.
Yeah.
I want to try. I got to figure this out on my own. And at some point this year, this millennium, I got to give a final answer with the number of guests, their association with me, and how important they are. And it was very rigorous. But that is how I altogether went about my guest list. And also I wanted to say this, and also I want to say this too. I did this for my parents. You did not for yours. But I gave my parents a group of seats at our wedding or at our reception. You get the point. And so because there are people important, in my upbringing, in my parents' life, who I might not even account for, that they think should be a part of this special day too. Oh, and also like they're helping out with both manpower and finances. So they have a crucial role in this wedding, and they should be given that benefit as well. And so that was also something I factored in. And it was a lot.
Yeah.
Well, and thankfully for me, like, my brother just got married a few years ago.
Right.
So some of those lines and boundaries were already drawn for me, and I didn't have to do the heavy lifting of that, of like drawing those lines, being like, this is what we're doing, this is how many people.
Yeah.
And actually we ended up going with the same venue that my brother went with.
Oh, perfect.
So
yeah.
I kind of already know the space. We already know what we can do and can't do, and like how full it actually feels with numbers and everything. So I think for me that helped. I'm sure it didn't for you, but it did.
I'm learning very quickly that the best words to say in the English language for a husband in training is "yes, dear."
Yes, dear. Yeah. No, I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat. My two brothers are going to get married before I do.
Oh,
So my
wow.
one brother's already married. My other one already has his date already set up. So, I've been able to kind of see what went wrong, what
Yes.
went right, and be like,
Wow.
okay, I like that aspect. I'm not so sure about that, kind of picking up on kind of how they're able to do it. So, again, I know sometimes it can be a little difficult to, make plans to go to somebody's wedding. But, definitely, especially if you are kind of still planning it, I think going to as many weddings as possible is a great way to pick up on a couple of ideas. And that kind of,
sure.
Obviously deciding on the guest list, a little bit more of a heavy topic. Let's move into something really fun to kind of end this interview out with, and just kind of talking about, any fun plans that you guys already have or fun things that you want to include with your wedding. I know a band or DJ is always a big one that people talk about. What would you kind of prefer? The type of music, but there are some additional amenities that you can add to your wedding that I think would be fun. I'm not sure if you guys have even thought about doing anything super crazy or anything like that for yours.
Have you? You're looking at the definition of super crazy. So we
Super
we,
and crazy right
yes,
here. Yeah.
It's a mixture of both, because we just booked the DJ, and there were some, and the thing is that I care a lot about the DJ. I care a lot about the bar.
Which are two things that I said, go for it. You may
Right.
take
These are all
two
yours,
things.
yeah.
She does
Right.
not. But there are things that you care about and I don't. Like,
Well, I said we need to have good food.
Absolutely.
I was like, that's number one.
I
We
feel
need
it-
good food,
but
and we
the-
need a good photographer.
What is the first thing that people always talk about after they go to a wedding? The
How
food.
good the food was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So good call on that.
Yes.
I'm in lockstep with that, but the photographer could care less about. But how ironic is that, because of what I do for a living? So like, what?
Yeah.
Anyway,
But yeah, so I was like, the food is what I'm excited for. We're doing barbecue.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
Oh, okay. See,
Buffet style.
Buffet barbecue.
have you picked out exact menu items yet? Because I gotta
for
say, I'm
sure.
from Memphis, so I take barbecue
Oh.
very seriously.
Oh, get ready, Phil.
Yeah.
Pulled pork and chicken.
Okay.
Freshly smoked.
Okay.
Possibly smoked there.
Now that would be a wedding. The whole place smells like barbecue. All right. I'm on board. I'm on board.
You don't need to eat until the next day. You're that good to go.
Exactly.
Exactly.
But I know the guy that we're going with also does a bunch of different sides that we haven't
Yeah.
decided on yet.
Gotcha.
But then we are also, as he said, my family loves dessert. We all
Oh.
make dessert. So we are making all of the desserts. So all
Including-
different cookies and brownies and all those things.
Oh, yeah.
And then my mom and
Including-
I will make the cake.
You guys
So-
are making your own
Yes.
wedding cake.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I was
Yeah.
more than how shocked you are right now, Phil.
Right.
I was way more
Right.
shocked. I'm like, do you have any idea? Right?
Yes.
And I was just that mesmerized because yes, you walk into their house and it's like Willy Wonka.
There's usually something.
Willy Wonka's getaway vacation house. But that is how serious they take desserts,
Yes. And it needs to be good.
and it needs to be good. So of course you want to lock that in, and I'm impressed. And I'm not going to do that. That's all you.
Have you thought about how you're going to be making this wedding cake as far as the style or maybe some of the flavors that you want to include? Or is it going to be kind of, the very traditional, white cake, white frosting kind of
It'll
tier?
probably be more traditional,
Okay.
the white cake, the white frosting.
You guys going to get the bride and groom toppers on that?
I don't know. We haven't decided on
I
that
think you
yet.
got to, right?
Right.
Well, might as well plan the rest of it right now. Right?
But I was like, I'm not picky about my cake, but I'm picky about my cake, and I really like the decorator frosting that the recipe my mom has. So I was like, okay, I know this is the frosting I want. This
Right.
is and I'm gonna be honest, it's gonna be a box cake, but it's gonna be delicious.
But it's going to be great. Hey, I've had some good box cakes in my life. Let's not frown on
I
box
was about to
cake
say,
here.
and you said you were not picky. I'm like, wait,
There's some
you were so specific on that.
there's some frostings that are better than others.
Right.
True.
No doubt about that.
Right.
Yeah.
Then again,
so-
she and her mom are the dessert queens.
Right, so we gotta
they
have the
know,
right one.
They
Yeah.
know their frostings. They know
Right.
their sweets and delicacies.
Right. But then I also my extended family
Yeah.
is more than willing to help make cookies and all
Right.
the other things. And also it helps that they will also keep them out during the reception.
Yeah.
And-
No shortage of sweet treats at this point.
Absolutely
Yeah.
not. Absolutely not.
Well, I'm glad to hear, some of your guys' plans for the wedding because it does sound like it's going to be a really awesome time. I was worried, Charles and I were talking about this episode in preparation about just, weddings in general, how they're planning. There's this show on Netflix called Marriage or Mortgage. I don't want to get too much into the show. It's very good if you like people kind of planning out weddings. And one thing that we definitely wanted to mention, just because of how crazy it was this one woman. She wanted, she had all these requests for her wedding, and the one thing that was a non-negotiable for her was that she wanted a ranch fountain, like a chocolate fountain, but with ranch. in it. And
what an idea!
I love ranch. I hate to give you guys such bad ideas for this because I would never do that.
bad
But
idea?
I don't know how I
Chocolate
feel
would be
about.
better.
One chocolate would be better. I don't know how I feel about everybody sticking chicken
Yeah.
wings, French fries into the same fountain. Somehow
fair.
chocolate just seems not as germy. I don't know. There's something about ranch, I guess, and I know I would be remiss if I did not mention it.
Have
Just
you
how
forgotten
crazy that
where
was.
we live.
Valid point. I think cheese though might be
Ooh,
might be
that
more
would be good,
Wisconsin,
too.
but I
Yeah,
think
like
a cheese fountain. I'd be more
cheese
There's just
fondue.
something about ranch,
Yeah.
and I love ranch.
Right.
I don't know what it is about it, but there's just something about that. But
there's-
definitely wanted to mention that as far as outlandish things that people might be trying to do at their wedding.
Yeah, exactly. Outlandish, sure, that's up to you. That's up to you at home.
Yeah.
But as far as what's important, that's the takeaway for us.
Right.
Is that what's important to you, what's important to me, and what's important to us? Because we're gonna be a team,
Right.
a couple, the Horaks at the end of the day, and how we go about this, and how much fun we have. All of that is pretty much dictated by what's important to us. And I think remembering what's important and what's
Right.
not and what's kind of in the middle,
Right.
I think will help anybody, any couple planning their big day.
And
if they're
remembering
very
it's
overwhelmed.
not just the one. It's both of you.
Yes.
Both of you should be happy at the end of the day with the wedding.
It's not I, you, it's we, it's us. It's the two of you's special day.
Yeah.
So that's
she
what,
makes the tiebreakers, of course. But just remembering
goes without saying, though,
what is
right.
actually important, and that at the end of the day you're getting married. It's not, and most people aren't going to remember your ceremony and reception. So
right. They'll
do
remember the
things-
food. They'll remember the
Right,
food,
right,
that's for sure.
right. But remember what's important to you, so you have a good day instead of
Yeah.
worrying about what everyone else cares about.
Yeah. I mean, that is a perfect way to end it. And I think you both really nailed it on the head as far as, you both should be sharing the load as far as planning this, but then at the end of the day, have fun because you are going to remember this day for the rest of your life. So again, could not have picked two better people to really talk about
Stop
this
it.
whole topic with. So I can't thank you both enough for stopping by. We so do appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well,
Absolutely.
thank you, Phil, for having us.
Of course. And that was such a fun conversation. It was great having them both on here. And I mean, you could really tell just how much they really enjoyed each other's company, and kind of makes sense why they're getting married now.
Yeah, I'm really excited for David. You know, he's a great colleague, and it's going to be, you know, really excited for him in his journey, and glad that they're working together to get through this process. It is a stressful process to get engaged and then to plan the wedding. So I think that I couldn't be happier for them, and I can tell that they are just delighted to be together. So, and then speaking of, you know, this topic, we're going to have another episode this February in another week or two, where we're going to talk with a relationship therapist, actually a couples and family therapist, who will talk about, you know, being in it for the long haul. How do you stay together? How do you get through the tough times? How do you deal with all the different pressures that can be put on a relationship or a marriage? So we're really excited. That's coming up pretty soon.
Absolutely. It's going to be a great time. Hopefully you check that one out as well. And we want to thank everybody so much for tuning in to this latest edition of Life in Progress.